You want to start a business, but you have no clue or idea of where to start. Not to mention, you need money for this business. You need money for this idea to get it off the ground. Well, you are certainly in the right place because this is the domino effect. It is a community of business owners just like yourself looking to take their business up to the next level, looking to increase income and also add more value to your business. Guys, this is exactly where you need to be. I'm Dominique. I'm a business funding specialist, founder of DFX, a referral lending platform for women, veterans, minority owned businesses. I've worked with startups all the way to multi-million-dollar companies, and I've seen hundreds of applications. We have the best lenders on this platform. So I want to help you stop all of these denials and increase your approval. So if you are tired of wasting time online trying to find the right lender because you need money right now, and you're sick of hitting this brick wall that is so common for a lot of businesses out there. So every time you need money to grow your business and you're sick of this denials and you need to watch this training all the way to the end, do me a favor, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and share this with your network, because today we are talking about the number one problem that affects most businesses here in the US, and it is the cash access problem. So we're going to get into it today. We're going to talk about what it means, how to beat it, what strategies you can use, and where to start. So let's get into it. So basically, the cash access problem is when a business needs funding, they need money, but they can't get to it. And this is for a variety of reasons. It could be because they don't have cash flow, they don't have credit, they don't have collateral. Maybe they're a newer business or banks won't approve them. Like 80 to 90% of businesses cannot get approved at the bank. They don't know where to start. They don't know where to go to get the money after they've already been into the bank, to their bank, wherever they have their checking account, and they don't qualify. Their bank is not really telling them what the next step is, where they can go. So then they don't really know how to get it. Do any of these sound familiar to you guys? It's super, super common, guys. So according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, check this out, approximately 1 in 5 businesses fail due to lack of capital. And, women and veteran owned businesses, especially women, they're the fastest growing group of businesses right now, yet the most underfunded. Can you believe that? And when approved for a loan, they're approved for much less. So we need to fix that. Okay, guys, this is exactly why I do what I do, because most business owners, they just don't know that there is plenty of money out there. There's a massive pool of private capital waiting for you just have to be able to qualify. Alternative lenders are waiting on the other side. They want to fund you. They have hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, if that sounds like that's a spot where you are. And this is what they do. They step in and help small businesses sustain, right? This country was built on small businesses, y'all. So let's talk about some real life examples, okay? We have clients, a former client actually, that went to the bank looking for a loan. And tell me if this is common to you. Went to the bank looking for a loan like most business owners do. And what do? Well, they're relying on bank financing. You have your checking account, where you have your deposit account, or they're self-funding. Okay, that's another problem that a lot of people have. They're using all of their personal credit, their personal credit, their personal guarantees, personal savings when you don't have to. So this client actually wanted to purchase the retail building that they were leasing, but they had prior businesses before this, right? And had made some, unfortunate business decisions. That's just because you don't know what you don't know, right? You learn from your mistakes. But because of the poor business decisions that they had made, it reflected on their personal credit, since they were using the personal credit to build their business. Does that sound familiar, guys? So after spending hours online, and then you're risking inquiries and just denials, and it's just frustrating, right? It's frustrating just constantly applying online, and you're just like, what is going on? Why am I not qualifying for this? So he went in, this client actually went into the bank, went through the whole process, applied, and then waited for weeks. And actually, they ended up denying him without really delving into the reasons why he was denied, which is pretty common. A lot of banks, it's not that they don't want to tell you, they can't. Okay, so don't get mad at them. They just can't. It's regulation. Okay, so they're not going to consult you on what you need to do next. They're not going to really dive into the reasons why you were denied. So this client, like this client, and like most business owners don't know that banks, they're actually really notorious for denying applications for some really foundational, fundamental reasons that a lot of businesses don't know about, but they're very basic, very simple things that are related to, issues like your business financing. Do you have a business that's set up and actually registered with your Secretary of State in your state and with the IRS? They're looking to see if you actually are a credible business. But a lot of business, it's not just that though. It could be because you are applying for a product that doesn't fit you. So that's super common, especially with the rise of online lenders that's happening. Okay. You're applying for a product that doesn't fit your need or even your industry. You might be applying for a lender that is like, on whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you're in transportation, right? So long story short, this client was able to get approved because they reached out, they got assistance through a referral platform like ours with getting assistance through advisors that have experience with matching clients to the right lender and the right funder, because the goal is to get better rates, better terms, better approvals, and stop all of this mess. But a lot of clients are actually in this situation, a lot of businesses, especially female, veteran, and minority owned businesses. So they're going to the bank, but they're feeling backed up against the wall, right? So they're signing personal guarantees. They're feeling like that is the last hope to truly get this dream going. And guys, I'm here to tell you that it isn't. There is a strategy to this that the biggest companies in the world are using, and you can do it too, okay? But you don't want to feel making decisions from a place where you're in panic mode is definitely a point where you need to be like, maybe I should take a step back and take a breath, right? But it happens all the time, right? People are experiencing issues with payroll, or they're having a slow season, right? Or they've just maxed out their personal credit, or the bank has already given them enough and it has said, you know what, we can't actually even issue anymore. And now they don't even really know where to go from there. So that is a huge problem that we're looking to mitigate and what DFX actually does. But business credit building is a huge tool that you can use that a lot of businesses don't actually know about. And you won't get this advice typically from your banker, from your accountant, from your lawyer. Typically you're not going to get this information because it's just not out there. So you're in luck, you're in the right place. But the fact of the matter is it's just simply misinformation. It's just simply not having the tools and the resources. But that changes today, because now you're going to know what your options are. But you need to make sure that you are preparing yourself ahead of time. So I want to help you by telling you some common mistakes that I see a lot of clients make, but what you can do to overcome some of these issues. Okay, so instead of pouring all of your personal savings, using your debit, doing all of this right away when you're building your business, I recommend sitting down and writing a list of who your vendors are. Where are you getting your supplies? Where are you going to get your office supplies? Where are you going to get your contracting supply? Where are you going to get your tools from? What gas stations do you go to? Like, write this stuff down, guys. If you're building an office, what do you need? Do you need computers? Do you need ink? All of this stuff, write it down, okay? Because put it in your plan, your business plan, because you can actually offset about 80 to 90% of your business expenses by putting them under your EIN and utilizing business credit. You do not have to use your personal guarantee in the very beginning when you're starting your business. Can you? Absolutely, but you don't have to, right? So it all depends on your unique situation. And the best way to determine that is to figure out what you currently qualify for right now. But you don't have to invest everything into your business, your retirement, your life savings, risking everything for your future. This is your dream. Yes, yes. But you also have a family and you also want to make sure you're doing this the right way. And I can tell you from looking at a lot of financials that I see that there are, businesses that are using, making purchases at Pilot Flying J, at Amazon, at Office Depot, all of these different, at Tractor Supply, at all of these different vendors that can actually be put under your EIN. It gives you leverage, and leverage creates opportunity. So that's exactly what we want to do here. And when you do that, that allows you to be able to qualify for better rates, terms, and strategies. So how do you get started? That's what we're talking about today. Well, the first thing you need to do, have to establish a credible foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with you guys, because the very first thing that you want to do is make sure that you are getting registered with your Secretary of State. Now, you are a Secretary of State. Everybody is, every state has different requirements. If you join TDE, our club, I have a full list of all 50 states. If you want to just send me a DM and I'll shoot it over. But just for example, let's say you live in Alaska, okay? Now, I click on my list here, it takes me to the state of Alaska. Business, then you want to get registered here, okay? Now, if you need business licenses, make sure that this is all taken care of as well. I'm in California, this is ours. And this is what we would do to go and get registered with the Secretary of State. Now, if you are already registered and you need to make an amendment, this is where you'll go. You'll go on this website and you will check out how to file an amendment. This is what it looks like in California. Okay, so then you can go here, you can search your business, and then it will let you know if you are registered. After you do that, you want to go to the IRS.gov website, because you need an EIN, right? So you need an EIN, especially if you're going to start establishing business credit. You have to be credible. Remember, this isn't about what you think. This is about making yourself attractive in the eyes of the lenders, credit issuers, and investors and funders. So make sure that you're following these steps. Now, this is just a few pieces of it. If you want more training on how to get all of this set up, then make sure you're watching all of our free courses and trainings where we dive into how to actually get registered with the Secretary of State. Now, the next part of this, if you're going to be establishing your business credit, is you want to be getting your DUNS number, and you can find that on the Dun & Bradstreet website. Dun & Bradstreet is one of the business credit reporting agencies. This is where you want to go. You don't have to pull your business credit report from Dun & Bradstreet. It is going to cost a pretty penny if you do it from here. There are other options if you are interested in that, but this is where you go. You can absolutely check to see, get a free DUNS number. Okay, so you don't have to pay for this. All right, you guys, get in here and get a DUNS number. It's self-explanatory. It tells you right here how to get a DUNS number. Get started now. Click that, and then it'll walk you through. I have a US-based business, and then you'll put in all of your information, and then it will tell you if you have a DUNS number. And then if you don't have one, then you go ahead and create one. Now, what I also recommend, part of this is what lenders and credit issuers are looking at, and what our underwriters are looking at as well, is we're looking you up. All right, we're stepping into 2025, so people should have a digital footprint, right? So they are checking to see if your business is online. I recommend that you can go to websites like GoDaddy. I love GoDaddy personally because they've got great customer service. You can always get in touch with their customer service, which is a huge thing for me. I know that we're in the digital age, but when you fully remove the human element, it's so fucking irritating, guys. I can't stand it. So that is what I love about GoDaddy. They have 24/7 customer service, tech support. You can build your website. You can have them build it out for you. It's fairly quick. You can take payments through this. You can attach your payment processor through this. And you're getting 2-for-1 with this because it also gives you a professional email, which is exactly what lenders and credit issuers are looking at. If you have a Gmail, it's not going to work. Do you have a Gmail and can you keep it? Yes, keep your Gmail. I have one too. But you need to have a professional email, especially because from everything, the final piece of all of this credibility in this foundation is everything needs to be matching across the board. So rather than having to go back and fix things over and over and over and over again, you can knock all of these things out. And if you're already established, don't worry about it. GoDaddy is just my personal preference, but you can use other websites. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to be using like a Facebook page. Facebook is not going to work. A LinkedIn page is not going to work. A scheduling page is not going to work. So make sure that it's a professional website, because Bloomberg actually summed it up best. If you guys know Bloomberg magazine, but Bloomberg summed it up best when they said funding a small business, especially if you're starting a small business, don't even start with the banks. Don't even start with the banks unless you have a great credit score and you want to do that. But don't even bother with the banks. This is the cash access problem, guys. It's the exact problem that we are looking to solve. We're looking to help you find a lender. And these are steps that you can take to solve this. A lot of people are, you know what I hear all the time? Dominique, you know what I have? It's working for me. I don't really want to change it. Okay, fine. But have you been able to get the funding that you need? If not, then something isn't working. So this is exactly what part of what lenders are looking at. And you don't have to use GoDaddy, like I said, but you do need to get a DUNS if you want to start establishing business credit, which is if you are starting a business online or in person, whatever. If you are starting a business and you have no cash flow yet, no credit, meaning your credit is below a 680, you've got some challenges on there, then you and no collateral, meaning you have no real estate, or you don't want to put your home up and things like that, then establishing your business credit is a must. It's an absolute must. It's a necessity. Even if you already have a business established, it's an absolute must. I can't tell you, I've seen companies that have been generating millions of dollars that actually got turned down or received less because there were some of these pieces weren't matching or off. It's crazy, right? So banks look at these things, and now you have leverage. One thing I do want to add on here, that's something that is accessible to you as well, is let's say you have cash flow. If you have cash flow, but let's say, okay, so we're talking how to start a business with no money, right? If you're starting a business with no money, then you want to start establishing business credit. But let's say you have about $5,000. Okay. I've got $5,000 in revenue I've been depositing into my business bank account. That's one thing you need to make sure that you have. One thing that you need to be aware of is when they're underwriting and looking at your bank statements, we're looking at your deposits. So if you're doing things like transferring from your personal account, those things are not going to count. Now, if you find an online lender, and this is one, National Business Capital, right? National Business Capital is an online lender. They're one of the more popular online lenders. They've closed about $2 billion. And what they do is pretty common. They're a merchant cash advance company, but they also do things like SBA lending and other sorts for larger companies, and those that qualify. Now, one of the tricky parts of this is as you move through an online application, right? You're putting, oh, I need 50,000. Let's see if it'll let me put it in here. 50,000, right? I need 50,000 for a payroll that I have coming up. And what's most important to me is the amount. I need it right now because I got to pay my people. And I've been in business for I just started my business. I've been in business for about 8 years. My monthly sales are about 5,000 to 9,000. And I've had some challenges with my credit because I've been building up myself. So, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of out here figuring it out. And I work in, HVAC and then I'm putting in all my information, right? Basically, what's going to happen is this is on an algorithm. So it's going to go through, it's going to ask you to submit your bank statements, attach 3 months of bank statements, 4 months if you're in California. And then what it's going to do is it's going to analyze your deposits. If you have any non-sufficient funds, if how many non-sufficient funds, right? If you have over a certain amount, that takes you out of the running, okay? So be advised of that as well. After that, this algorithm is going to check all of these pieces. If you think you're depositing 5,000 or if you think you're depositing 10,000, a common issue that a lot of businesses run into is all of a sudden they're going through this and all of a sudden it's popping up, boop, declined, you don't qualify, and you don't know why. You can't figure it out. You're like, what are you talking about? I got 10,000. I can't figure this out. Then you can't get somebody on the phone. When you finally do, it breaks down to, I'm going to tell you what it is right now. You're not qualifying because there's something off in the financials, or there's something off. We had a client that didn't qualify because they changed their business name. So it went from, and this is just an example, guys, it went from Jay's Trucking to JAY's Trucking to just Jay's Trucking. Okay, but they didn't change it at the bank. So they changed it with the Secretary of State, but didn't go and change it at the bank. So basically, it was like starting over at the bank. So that's one issue that could cause a decline. Okay, and with another issue that could cause a decline is if you're transferring from personal account. If you're getting paid for your business and you're depositing it into your personal account and then transferring it over to your business, that doesn't count. So that 5 grand, 10 grand that you thought you were depositing, that you thought you were making, is actually about 4 grand, 6 grand. And listen, their algorithm is saying, if you don't meet the $10,000 mark, we're not even going to push you through. So now what you've just done is entered into a marketplace where random lenders are going to be reaching out to you. And it's basically just going to be a free for all because they're all purchasing leads. So that is where you're at. And then maybe you find one where you're like, I'm going to just take this one and it's going to be a merchant cash advance. And I'm just going to accept it. You end up in a debt spiral if you don't know how to properly use that merchant cash advance. So revenue-based lender, if you have a little bit of capital, a little bit of money that you started for this business, could be a good option if you have a strategy, if you know how much you are truly depositing into your account, and if you are truly depositing into a business bank account, because it will not apply if it is a personal account and if you're transferring from a personal account. So that is exactly how you get started today if you want to start a business with no money. Guys, it is super easy to get started. It may seem overwhelming, but the most overwhelming part is running into the same issue over and over and over and over again. It is a cash access problem that is affecting most small businesses in America that are vital to this country. Women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, your business, your dream. So you don't have to waste all of this time online. You can shortcut the process, even though shortcut is not really the word I would want to use. But when I say shortcut, I mean by getting the knowledge that it is necessary to follow the right steps to complete the process, not shortcutting in the sense of, well, I know that that's what I have to do, but I don't want to do it. I'm going to try to go this way. Getting this done, making sure that you establish your foundation, you're set up with the Secretary of State, with the IRS, making sure that you are getting a current picture of where you currently stand, qualifying before you apply, and you get a business bank account. And don't make sure that you get this business bank account after you're already registered. So that is it for today's training, guys. And now I need you to do 2 things. And the first thing is I want you to download your free step-by-step guide on how you can start building business credit. It is the absolute tool to help you leverage yourself right now. If you are a new business, if you're a startup, if you're a nonprofit, if you're a seasoned business, This is absolutely going to help you create leverage and also get better rates and terms down the road when you want to qualify for bank financing, for SBA financing. And second thing I need you to do is schedule a call with one of our advisors at 888-488-4145. Because if you don't know where the hell you're at right now, nothing changes if nothing changes. You will continue to do the same thing. And that is exactly what I do not want. We want to see more approvals. We want to increase ownership for you, for your family, for us, for small businesses, for entrepreneurship. So get on the call, 888-488-4145. You can also text your questions to the same number. We love answering your questions. And if you found this information helpful, then do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because you know the YouTube algorithm. And if you're hitting that button, I can continue to make more free courses and trainings just like this one. See you next time. Personal credit quality and ones that are going to be based on there's no collateral required for you to get these. It's not based on any type of assets. Supply financial statements like tax returns. You don't need to supply P&Ls. Most important elements of establishing your credibility in the business credit world while you're establishing your profile is how you pay your bills on time. DFX as a resource to help guide you through this. That leads me to my next thing that you want to have, which is a professional email address. You can always reach somebody. They can always reach email address. You have a professional website.